And so when I handle a rockfish, I'll usually hold it here secure by the head, finger in the eye area or in the eye itself, grab it down below the gill plate here. Then I come in on a round on a rockfish, I'll start here and I'll get set up. I do a setup and then come down to maximize the amount of meat. A lot of people will cut straight down and you'll lose in meat right there, so you come in at an angle. Start here, I set the knife up, come down, leave the knife in there, and then I'll give just a little bit of pressure, not too much. This is a semi-stiff knife, not a semi-flexible. If I give it a little, you probably can't see it in there, but if I give it just a little, I'm doing it more, it lifts the tip up, off, bows the knife, brings the tip up, and then you're not catching the backbones as you go down the back. And so you just give it a little, and come on through. I'll move my hands and kind of pick that up and then on out. And then I'll come in here at the tail, again, flexing the knife. It looks like I'm maybe pushing hard, but I really am not. And come on down and come up and hit the rib cage right here where my finger just naturally went to know where the rib cage is. And then I'll turn the knife up. I get to that point, I turn the knife up to come around the ribs. I don't want to go through them, I just want to go through them. I came in on the knife, I turned it, I gave it a little flex, get that tip to come up, and then I'm left-handed here, and then follow it on down right there. You kind of see that tip wants to come up and roll on down. Again, leave the knife in, come down the backbone, and then set up, get down to the rib, turn it up, and come on out across the rib. At that point now I've got this flank here and I can come down again where the end of the belly is, the belly cavity, to maximize the amount of meat you're going to get off the fish, and lay the knife down and do the final cut and come off on the tail. And there you go. Trim that off. Well, I could have left that for when we skinned it. And then some people want their fat off, so you can take and do a little trim that fat off, and that helps for longevity in the freezer if you're going to freeze it. Get the fat off because it will go rancid even if it's vacuum packed. And then I come in, hold the fish, grab the fish by the tail. I'm not really lifting it, and I put my knife here and I give it a flip to set up, let go again. Hand goes to the bottom of the gill plate, thumb in the socket. So I come on in and again set up. In behind the head, maximize that meat recovery. Again, I set up, give the knife a little torque down, that's lifting that tip on the inside. Come out. Around the ribs. I'll set the knife up like this. Open it up without getting into the cavity, without cutting the ribs. Maximum recovery, there should be no meat on there. I got the bones. A little bit there, but that's not much. And come down around again. And there you go. And then you should be able to see light through that frame if you got most of the meat. You can see I did a little bit better on this side. There's very little meat left on the fish. It's all on the fillet. So you get your maximum recovery. Then I won't get into that, but tips are really good. If you get a lot of fish, you can save these tips, and it makes a great chowder. There's a lot of meat in here. The collars or tips, several people call them different names, and of course they've got cheeks. And if you got a lot of them, it might be worth cutting a little medallion out and getting the cheeks, and that's usually right here. Start right at the mouth and roll it around. Actually, it's been a while since I've done any cheeks, so this is probably something you don't want to. But there's meat there. It's not much, but it's usually more flavorful than the body meat itself. I'll start down here, lay the knife down, get going on it, then pin it with my fingers, and hold the knife again firm. I got a little, how the tip comes up. I'll come out here a little more. See, this is why I like off the edge. So I'll hold that down, and then just hold the knife straight and firm. Don't change the angle. keep that same angle and then rotate, just rotate on through. And then, yeah. Down. And just a slight angle towards the belly. Generally, I'm rotating, but the main rotation is to come off where the rib bones were at. If you start going this way, then you might get into where the rib bones are, and then it'll cause the knife to carry on up, and you'll get a big chunk of meat out of here. So, and then you got the little pin, there's pin bones in here, and you can just come along and those out, and you can feel those with your finger if there's any left. So this side doesn't have any, right there. We'll just, there we go. So that should be a bone-free fillet. No bones, no skin.